Hello, I'm Vince White. I'm an employment attorney, and we are answering questions on abo.com. And here is the question. These are publicly posted questions. Does my job have the right to mandate that I take a vaccine injection in 2020 that came out after I started my employment in 1988? The quick answer is yes. Well, let's get into the body of the question here. I worked at a hospital for the past 32 years and provided my immunization records at the time of hire. About 5 years ago, the hospital was bought by a different hospital, and they are now insisting that I take the varicella vaccine that came out in 1994. I feel they have started coming after me after I refused the flu shot. They pushed to have all employees vaccinated for the flu, but I chose to wear a mask for about 5 years prior to the COVID flu season. If I am not mandated to take a flu shot, am I mandated to take a vaccine produced after my employment was never mandated? If I am not mandated to take a flu shot, am I mandated to take a vaccine produced after my employment, which was never mandated for New York City adults? I went to my doctor and found out that I am not immune from varicella or varicella. I'm not sure how that's pronounced. But she would not insist on me taking the vaccine from her medical perspective. Thanks in advance for your advice. So, unless you have a religious exemption, which is a very specific thing, and I have another video on that I can post for you, or if you have a medical reason, right? If you're in some way immune compromised, or you have some medical condition that makes it risky or unpleasant for you to take vaccines, then generally speaking, your employer is going to be allowed to mandate this vaccine. When you started your employment is not really a relevant factor. And the concept that your doctor is not mandating it is also not really a relevant factor. So the employer can make this a condition of continued employment, right? They can say, hey, to work here, this is what we want. If you don't like it, we understand, but you can't be here. They are allowed to do that. Most employers are probably not going to do that with the COVID vaccine. I do expect hospitals are going to do it, right? Almost certainly. Now, if you don't have one of those two exemptions, you're probably going to have to take the vaccine. The only other way out is if you have union protections. If you're a member of a union and your collective bargaining agreement speaks to this in some way and says you don't have to take the vaccine, then that's potentially something you can look into. You could talk to your union about. Generally, that's not going to be the case, but that would be another protection you might have if you really don't want to take this vaccine. I know this probably wasn't what you wanted to hear, so I apologize. But I think it's probably more important that I give you the answer than tell you what you want to hear, right? Good luck to you. I wish you the best.